Hello everyone, welcome to the Leetcode. Today in this video we'll be solving Leetcode daily challenge. And the question here is running sum of one the array, which states that given an array nums, we define a running sum of an array as running sum of I, which is equal to sum of nums of 0 till nums of I. Return the running sum of nums. So we would be given an array and we need to return the current sum at each index. Like we would be traveling from the left to the right and we need to add all the elements that are to the left, including the current element, and return an output array, which would be stating what is the current sum at each index. So to be more precise, let me just take an example. So we have this array nums, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and our output array would somewhat look like um, this. We have nums of 0 at first index, nums of 0 plus nums of 1 at the second index. Then we'll be having nums of 0 plus nums of 1 plus nums of 2 at the third index. And at the last index, we'll be having nums of 0 plus nums of 1 plus nums of 2, including the current element that is nums of 3. So our output would look like 1 comma 1 plus 2 comma 1 plus 2 plus 3, then we'll have 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. So which would end up looking like 1 plus 1 plus 2 is 3, then which is 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6, then we'll have 10. So that is what the output is expected to be looking like. Okay, so how are we gonna do this?
So the brute force that any one of us would be able to come up with is that we will be iterating all the elements, and for each element we'll be having another loop that would be iterating till that particular element. So let me just make you visualize the solution. So this is we'll be having an output array which will be currently initiated with nums of 0, that is the first element of the array. Then we'll be having a for loop for traveling in the array for I in range of length of nums. It would be starting from 1 because we have already included the first element of the array. Now at each iteration we'll be having a sum of 0 and then again a loop for j in range of I plus 1, since we need to include the current element also, and we'll be just summing up all the elements. Okay, so sums of plus equal to nums of j would pretty much do the work, and we'll just append whatever is the sum after the completion of the loop, and we'll return out as the output array. So yeah, this should do the work, and yeah, it is done. But our solution over here is O of n square, like the time complexity. It would be traveling once, and again it would start from first index and travel to the nth index. So the worst time complexity over here would be O of n square. So how to optimize this? The optimal approach would be to travel the array once and getting the output we are expecting it to be. Okay, so what are we going to do here is we'll iterate the array once, and at each element the current sum would be the current sum plus the uh, previous element, like the previous adjacent element plus the current element would be the sum till the nth element. Okay, so let me just visualize you this. So our array is 1 2 3 4. Okay, so current sum at first index would be 1. Now we would be traveling it from the first index because 0 is not having any previous adjacent. Okay, so we'll start from first index, that is the element 2. So we'll be adding 2 plus the previous element, which is 1. So the answer here would be 3. So the in the output array, the first index would sum up to 3. Then moving to the next index, we have 3. Now adding 3 to the previous of this output array, we'll be getting the answer. That is, here in the output array, at the index 1, we have 3. And in the current element in the nums, we have 3. So like the answer should be 3 plus 3, which is 6. And yes, it is correct. Now again, we'll take the current element of the nums array and the previous element of the output array. So 6 plus 4, which is 10, is going to be the fourth element of our output array. So this is pretty much equivalent to the result, and this is the result we are going to print. So how are we going to write the code for it? Let me just comment out the previous brute force approach, and yeah, so our code would be for I in range, we'll be starting from 1, right? And instead of taking another like array, we can make the changes in the nums array itself. So we'll travel from 1 to length of nums, and the change would be nums of I is equal to nums of I plus, sorry, plus nums of I minus 1, and we'll just return nums. This should do the work. And yes, it is a success. Let us submit it and get the coin. Yes, and we have completed it, and this is our first day streak. So congratulations. Okay, so that was our solution with the time complexity of n. If you find this video helpful, please hit the like button, share it with your friends. I'll be coming up with more Leetcode challenges. Till then, stay tuned. Bye bye. Thank you.